and also of God Optional Judaism, which is available from CSJO. And I will put csjo.org in the chat. I'm also active with J Street, and I, at this particular time, encourage all of you to go to jstreet.org and learn about the situation in Israel, Gaza, and the West Bank, and to take some action for peace. It's especially appropriate to talk about social action at Shavuot, since, as people have been mentioning, the book of Ruth that we read on Shavuot is full of social issues. It's sexist, it's ageist, it's heterosexist, but it's profoundly anti-racist. So I'm delighted today to interview Rebecca Ireland, who's carried on the secularist Jewish tradition of social action and has engaged in a number of these social issues. Rebecca is another third-generation secularist. She's a high school sophomore, she's 15 years old, and she's already done more activism than most people twice her age. She's an intern teacher at our Jewish Culture School. She's one of our music leaders at Tri-Valley Cultural Jews. She's on the board of our organization and also of CSJO, the cultural and secular Jewish organization. And she is most currently the founder of Youth Organize Unite. And I'd like to start by asking her to describe her newest initiative.
Hi. So Youth Organize Unite is part of my Girl Scout Gold Award. So I've been in Girl Scouts since like first grade, and I've always wanted to do my Gold Award. And so Youth Organize Unite is my project. And what I'm doing is I create a website called youmakechange.org, and there's articles on there, and we have workshops once a month about different issues. The ones we've had so far are human trafficking, homelessness and housing inequity, climate justice, and immigration. And the purpose of this is to motivate teens and young activists and people who may have not been interested in any certain issue to take action for something they learn about that angers them or that frustrates them that is happening today. Yeah.
Who do you have speak?
For climate justice workshop, we had an amazing speaker, Christy Drutman, who's a Filipina Jew, and she is a climate justice storyteller, and she is incredible. Yeah, she has a podcast called Brown Girl Green, if you want to check that out.
So tell the people, Rebecca, when did you become an activist?
I have been taking action for issues as long as I can remember. I know that when I was really little, still in a stroller, my parents took me to protest marches with Judy and Tri-Valley Cultural Jews. And the earliest I can remember is when I was in at least elementary school, I think, going to protests and rallies outside of the Hayward City Hall about immigration justice. And what I did at the beginning of 6th grade was I wrote petitions to major chocolate companies that I learned about have child labor in their production. And that just didn't sit right with me. So I organized petitions that went around to like all my classes, and I sent those to the companies. I received responses and they weren't enough. So I got a lot of people to boycott them because it's just not right, in my opinion. Last year, at the end of last year, I organized a march for racial justice, economic justice, and gender justice, and to not allow Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court, because that just wasn't right to me. And I got a lot of people out and marching. And most recently, other than Youth Organize Unite, I wrote a petition because my town's city council was planning to allow Chick-fil-A to come to our community, and Chick-fil-A has a very anti-LGBTQ plus history. So I can't let that happen because that would make our town very not welcoming, I feel. So I wrote a petition and got 100 signatures and presented it to our city council. And well, Chick-fil-A is not coming to our city.
That's great. How does being Jewish impact your activism?
I think there's like one quote that basically sums it up. Well, not sums it up, but sort of. My cousin's rabbi said, my family might not be very religiously Jewish, but we're definitely Jewish because we are very socially aware and active. And something that has encouraged and motivated me to be very socially active is Jewish Culture School. So our Jewish Culture School is very focused in talking about Jewish history, right? And so we sing a lot of songs about from past justice movements, and we learn about Jewish history around the world and other people's history around the world. And we learn about injustices people have faced, and we talk about problems. And some songs we sing that are like very empowering are like, "We shall not be moved, like a tree standing by the water," and "Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around." And those empower me to take action because we're not gonna let anybody tell us that we can't do stuff.
Speaking of people trying to tell you things, why do you think it's important for young people to take action? And along with that, how can older people support you?
Yeah, I think it's really, really important for youth to take action for issues that they're passionate about, because youth are inheriting the world. And if we don't take action for issues we find now, we're going to inherit those problems later. So we have to take action now so they're not still problems when we are in charge. I think adults can help support youth in taking action by, even if you don't exactly understand why someone's taking action because it's not relevant to you personally, you should support them because it's important to them, or they see it that it's an injustice for youth or for people that they are passionate about.
And second to last question, what advice do you have for other kids who want to make an impact on society?
Just do it. Just take action. Even if no one understands why you're taking action, take action because it matters to you, so it matters to some other people. And if you see injustice at your school, if you see something that's wrong, you need to take action, because if you don't do it, who knows, someone else might not take action and that problem will still go on. You have power.
Can you tell people how to, when your next Youth Organize Unite event is, who's welcome, how people can get involved with that initiative?
Yeah, so firstly, you can check out Youth Organize Unite at youmakechange.org, and the link is in the chat. And our next workshop is going to be on June 12th at 11 a.m. PST. It's going to be about LGBTQ plus advocacy. And if you'd like to join that, the link to register is on the website youmakechange.org.
Who is welcome to come to this? Who are you aiming these at?
If you know any youth that are interested in taking action, then please send them. But if you are interested, you are welcome to.
You're going to let us come anyway,
Yeah.
even though we're not youth. Do you have a speaker already for your next event?
Yes. Her name is Les Marina from New Mexico.
And how did you find her and the other speakers?
So a lot of my family are activists, and they have been some of my speakers. My advisor is very helpful in getting speakers. So, oh, don't be afraid to ask for help too. That's really important. So like I ask for help from people and I'm amplifying their voices.
Thanks. Thanks for talking with us. Thank you for being a person who takes action in the world. And since we do have a few more minutes, what's your favorite social action song?
One that I didn't say, it might not seem apparent as a social action song, but one that I really like is Vashi Wouldn't Dance. And because we always say, you just gotta say no when something's not right.
Okay, let me put in the chat. If you want to have the words and music to Vashti Wouldn't Dance, you can email me. Any last words?
Just take action.
I will also say a last word, and that is we at Tri-Valley Cultural Jews are really proud of all our kids. We do require for their Brit Mitzvah that they do 30 hours of social action in something that they care about and that they're interested in. And we find that once you get started doing social action, you don't stop. So just take the first step. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, Adam, for putting this together. I kept trying to go eat lunch, but everything was too fascinating. So the strange noise you hear in the background is my stomach rumbling. Thanks for setting this up.
My pleasure. And thank you to both of you for being part of this.